Hey there everyone, Bob here, and welcome back to Gamer Nutrition. This one is going to be the week 8 or 2-month update on the ketogenic diet. This one's also going to be probably a little scattered. I might repeat myself. This is unfortunately my third time recording this. The second time I was almost done and a stupid alert went off on my phone for like a code atom or something. It didn't actually tell me what it was. It was just said there's an alert, and then it was like, check your local news stations, and I didn't find anything on the news station, so I don't know what it was about. I am looking down at the phone here because I'm going over the MyFitnessPal for the progress and everything, because we're going to recap basically 2 months worth of the ketogenic diet and my thoughts on it. This one is going to be a little bit longer and a little bit ramblier than normal, and I already ramble a lot. So I'm just scrolling back here to see where we started. So, started the ketogenic diet on August 17th, 2017. Obviously, it's only been 2 months. And on that day, I weighed in at 297. A week later, on August 24th, it was 289. Now, I'm only bringing up that first week because basically I'm going to kind of throw that week away. I said this in that very first video. That first week, while I lost like 8 pounds, I think 6 of it was water weight, probably. So I'm not counting that in the overall average. It will skew everything too much. But starting then on the 24th, August 24th through today, October 15th. So I went from 289, and as of this morning, I was 270.2 or 19 pounds lost. You break that out in over 7 weeks, I'm averaging over 2.5 pounds a week, about 2.7 pounds a week. So that's this morning, 270.2. And I'll be honest, I'm actually a touch disappointed in that number because I saw 269.8 or something yesterday or Friday. I can't remember which day it was, but I was below 270 at one point later this week. But that happens, you know, if you watch it every single day, you weigh yourself every morning like the same after your bathroom break or whatever, you're going to see you'll lose 3/4 of a pound, then you'll gain back half a pound and lose 3/4. It does that. It's not perfectly linear. It goes up and down a little bit as it trends down. So I'm a little disappointed that I can't say I'm under 270 today. I would like to report that, but no, I'll definitely be there by next week. We still lost, from a week ago today, I was, phone just went to sleep, but I don't remember. It was 271.6, 270.2, so still 1.4 pounds, almost 1.5 pounds lost in a week. Can't complain about that. And averaging over 2.5 pounds on this diet has been awesome. So it's like, I look at the diet and I look at a lot of the science behind it, and a lot of that was eye-opening. But beyond that, if there's one thing I really have to stress, if you're someone that wants to lose weight and you've tried other diets and everything, and your problem is, or your issue that you come across is maintaining or managing the hunger, then you really should look into the ketogenic diet. If you're someone that maybe has a psychological problem where you go to food because of depression or something, well, in order to lose weight, you have to first address that. That's got to be something that you go to first. If you have a different medical problem, like with me, a thyroid problem, something with your liver or whatever, you have to address that. But if your problem is self-control, if your problem is dealing with being hungry all the time and not being able to work with that at least long enough to lose however much amount of weight you need to lose, that's where keto really shines through. The amount of food I'm eating in a given day is roughly, on average, probably about 1,600 calories. And I'm very rarely hungry. And even when I'm hungry, it's not like ravenous. It's just kind of, oh yeah, I could kind of eat. I could go for something. Maybe I'll go have a fat bomb or something, depending on how recent it was. Or it's the type of hunger that just putting some liquid, water or tea in my stomach is enough to compensate for. That is so vastly different from the previous diet that I was on. And this was in possibly my first or second video, one of the long ones where I go into my backstory, where 4.5 years ago, I was almost 350 pounds. I might have actually been 350. I didn't actually see that on the scale, but it's not fair to, or it wouldn't be unfair to say I probably would have been if I had been making myself every single day. Anyway, from 350, I did actually manage to get down to 270 previously, but it took me like 2.5 years. And it was 2.5 years of eventually exercising 3 days on, 1 day off, counting calories, low fat, low calorie, like 1900 calories, all that exercise, 90 minutes to 2 hours of exercise on those days, beating the hell out of myself for 2.5 years. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, what eventually broke me was I got done with being hungry all the time. I was always hungry because I could only bring in 1900 calories. Now I look at it like 1900 calories. I can do 1600. I could do 1200 calories in a day if I wanted to. I really could with this diet. Now I don't, because I don't want to risk putting my body into a starvation mode where it cuts your metabolism, right? Starvation mode on paper, some people might be like, well, that sounds like a great way to lose weight. It's really not. Because what starvation mode does is it cuts your metabolism down to basically just the bare minimum needed to keep your primary organs running, and it doesn't burn any additional calories just for burning sake's purposes. So you want to keep at least enough coming in order to not go into that mode. But I could go probably 1200 calories without being hungry. That's crazy. That's unbelievably good. And that's where, like I'm saying, if your problem is dealing with the hunger, ketogenic it's so good so far. And I can't believe I kicked myself for not having done this 5-7 years ago. I don't know how. Maybe it's more well known that maybe I was ignorant to it. That's entirely possible. It sounds like, on the surface, it sounds like an alternative medicine type thing, which would drive me away, which I'd be like, that sounds fishy. I wouldn't trust that. But it's based on it's based on chemistry. That's exactly what it's based on. And so far, it's just been so easy. Now, I should correct that. It's, on one hand, it's super easy. On the hand of dealing with hunger, dealing with having to eat or the desire to eat and all of that, controlling your cravings, it's been super easy. It's been more difficult in terms of, it's almost the type of diet that you have to do when you eat your meals that you either prepare beforehand and take with you, so brown bag it for lunch or whatever, sorry, microphone, or eat at home, right? You really can't be going to restaurants and doing a ketogenic diet. It's going to be super hard. If you're someone that can eat a salad at every single meal and just a plain like house salad, you could probably get away with it. But you got to just be very careful, because chicken, most salads with chicken, it's going to be fried chicken. Well, that fried chicken is breading. You can't do that. It's also probably fried in canola oil, which is omega-6 fatty acids. Can't do that. You could do something like steak and vegetables, seasonal vegetables on the side. Well, guess what? Those seasonal vegetables were probably cooked with some butter on them. The butter's probably just Land O'Lakes or Blue Bonnet or whatever, which is, again, canola oil for that butter plus the milk and everything. So that throws that off. A lot of your grilled chicken has some type of glaze on it or coating on it, which is going to have some sugar in it. It's very hard to eat at a restaurant anything but just a pure meat dish, which is too much protein, not enough fat, without getting carbohydrates or sugar. So if you're someone that likes to go out to eat or whatever, or say you're dating someone, married to someone, whatever, who's not on the diet, then ketogenic is going to be significantly harder. If you plan ahead of time, like I can easily prep a lunch right now for me, not even a lunch, but just a first meal or whatever, and it's just some ring bologna, some cheese, some nuts, maybe some turkey, lunch meat turkey, thrown in container, and one of my vegetable shakes to go. Boom, it's super easy. But if I'm working with someone that wants to go out to grab some lunch, well then I'm not a big salad eater. I'll eat a salad, but I don't love them, and I can't do any dressing on the salad, which makes me like it even less. I can't do any croutons on the salad, which makes me like it even less. I could do maybe bacon bits on it, but it'd have to be actual bacon, not the bottled bacon bits, because that's mostly MSG in those, I believe. So it just really, it's complicated. It's very difficult if you're trying to be a social eater, I guess would be the best way to put it. So that's kind of the good and the bad. But if you can plan ahead of time, prep your own meals, take your meals with you, or eat at home, It's actually fairly easy diet to be on. Let's see. Other updates with me. So I am transitioning my fasting a little bit. I talked about this. I've talked about it a few times where I want to try and get the fasting window as tight as possible. I don't know if the fasting window has gotten narrower, but what I have been able to do is go to one actual meal a day. I think I started it Thursday. Thursday I was home. Yeah, Thursday I got home pretty early. So Thursday, what I'm doing now is, well, let me first explain what I was doing previously. So previously, first meal would happen 12:30 to 1:30, somewhere in there. If I was at home, it would be eggs, bacon, sausage, something along those lines, and vegetable shake. Then around 6, I would prep my dinner, which I would be eating 6:30, hopefully done by about 7:30, with another vegetable shake. I yanked one of those out and moved the meal to the middle and made it larger. So now, when I'm done with this, so it's about 11:15 now, when this is rendering out, I'll go downstairs, I'll make up a vegetable shake, and I'll have that around 12:30, and I'll sip on that from 12:30 till about 1:30. It takes generally 45 minutes to an hour to drink, and I'll also have one fat bomb. A fat bomb is just a whole bunch of concentrated fat, so like coconut oil and stuff, with a little bit of protein and ideally no carbs. Mine have peanut butter in them, so there's a little bit. Now, when I divide it all out, it's like half of a gram of peanut butter carbohydrate in each one. It's essentially just to satiate hunger. There's no nutrition in it at all. It's just to satiate the food. When I combine that with the vegetables in the shake, because there are carbohydrates in cucumbers and spinach, I'm looking at like 3.5, 4 grams of carbohydrates, plus a lot of fat thanks to the avocado in that little shake. And it does break the fast. If you're being very technical about it, it breaks the fast. It's not as good as if I just wouldn't consume anything at all. But if I don't consume anything, I get loopy. I'm not quite to the point yet where I can just go without eating at all. So I take that and I'll have that around 1 o'clock. Then around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'll sit down and have my one meal. And it's a substantial meal because I'm getting basically all of my fat for the day, or 80% of it, in that one meal. So it's 1,400 calories, give or take. What I'm experimenting with right now is what I'll do is I'm trying to do a variety of different foods into it so there's no gaps in my nutrition. So I'll do like 2 eggs. I will do a hamburger patty, and it's an 80% lean beef hamburger patty, so it's not like a 90%. It's got some fat in it and everything. And what I'll do is 1 egg will go over easy on top of that hamburger patty with some cheese. The other egg will go into a bowl of bone broth, chicken or beef bone broth, with a little bit of sausage and more cheese on it. And then I'll do like 3 strips of bacon and some asparagus or some seared broccoli with a little bit more cheese thrown on top of that too. The cheese is kind of the key to all this. If you're having trouble trying to do keto, you're constantly hungry, cheese is your friend. Cheese is all fat for the most part, and it will satiate a lot of that hunger. So I go to BJ's, the wholesale place, and it's like a 3/4 pound, half pound bag of chunked pepper jack cheese. So I buy that about every 2 weeks. I buy one of those. And if need be, like I'll toss one of those and with something to melt. I'll also do other cheeses too, but they're great. You just grab a cube or 2 of that and toss in your mouth, and that'll satiate a lot of the hunger going on. But you mix cheese in with everything, works to satiate a lot of those hungers. So that tends to be what I'm trying to do. And then I'll also, towards the end of that, I'll mix up another vegetable shake, and I'll sip on that post eating that food. So figure 5:30 till about 6:30, I'll sip on that, and then I'm done eating. So we start eating around 12:31. We're done eating around 6:30. There are insulin spikes from both of those shakes, but they're small. The main insulin spike comes right around 4:30, give or take. Trying that. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but that's the idea. The key you got to really balance out is getting in the right amount of nutrition when you're eating in one meal. See, fat is very energy dense. Fat is great for keeping your hunger satiated when you're in ketosis, but fat in terms of nutrition is very poor. There's no vitamins, no minerals, things like that in most fat. Now, a hamburger patty or something, because it does have other things, and it does have some, but it's still very, very light in terms of nutrition. So you got to supplement it in with all those vegetables in the shake and everything. We'll see. Last week, I think I talked about where I was getting these weird, like, I'd feel odd for about 5 minutes or so, almost like a migraine was coming on, and it would go away. Those have stopped. So I think that was kind of the thyroid and everything rebalancing out, because I really didn't alter the nutrition coming in or anything. They just kind of went away. I think that was just the system adjusting to the new thyroid medication, but they seem to be good. But that's kind of where I'm judging my system by how I feel. I'm keeping track of what I eat, but as long as I feel pretty good and the vitamins, minerals look good going in, I'm happy with it. I'm actually not too worried about the calories overall. Yeah, considering this is the third time recording it, thanks phone. I'm not sure. I think I've probably missed a few things that I would have wanted to put in the other videos, but I think that mostly covers it. Going forward now, so I'm still going to try and do a video every Sunday, but the next one will come week 12 for this type of video. Next week, we'll probably talk a little bit about maybe the foods I'm eating or things along those lines. There's still going to be updates, but it's not going to be focused on the diet progress. It's going to be more information-based, things I've learned about going through the ketogenic process and all of that. But I am super stoked, super happy. 2.5 pound average a week without exercising, without committing, 12 hours a week to exercise and all of that, without always being hungry, is just great. I'm happy. Hopefully, I mean, at this point, realistically, I might be close to 260 for Thanksgiving, because we got 2 weeks left in October and then 3 weeks into Thanksgiving, so 5 weeks. That's, going to be down close to 260 for Thanksgiving and getting down maybe close to 250 for Christmas. That's another 5 weeks after that, 4 weeks after that. Yay! All right, that's that. There we go. That's 2 months with keto. Thanks for watching.